Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. No honking traffic, no highways, no road trips, no car keys in your pocket. What if humans never invented cars? How would our world look today? Our cities, our jobs, our environment, even our very way of life. Let's step into that alternate reality, and it may shock you how different our history and future could have been. Cars are so deeply woven into our lives that imagining a world without them feels impossible. Yet they're a relatively new invention. The first real automobile appeared just over a century ago. And in that short time, cars reshaped our planet. So what if they had never existed? Humanity would still travel, of course, but the methods would be completely different. Horses, bicycles, trains, ships, maybe even early planes would dominate. Instead of cars filling streets, imagine bustling cities where railways, trams, and horses carry the world forward. Cars didn't just change how we move, they reshaped our cities. In a carless world, cities would be denser, more walkable, and designed around trains, bicycles, and pedestrians. Wide highways, parking lots, and suburban sprawl wouldn't exist. Instead, communities would cluster tightly around public transport hubs. Think about it. No traffic jams, no endless parking searches, streets filled with markets, parks, and open plazas instead of multi-lane roads. But there's another side. Without cars, rural areas would be isolated. Reaching farmlands or remote towns would rely on trains or horses, making the countryside feel much farther away. The automobile industry today employs tens of millions worldwide, from factories and dealerships to gas stations, mechanics, and insurance companies. Without cars, these jobs vanish. Instead, entire economies would depend on trains, trams, and bicycles. Manufacturing hubs might focus on steel for railroads, or horse breeding industries might still dominate. Towns would grow around train stations instead of highways. And oil? The demand would shrink dramatically. No gasoline-powered cars means the oil industry wouldn't dominate global politics. The Middle East, for example, might not be an oil superpower. Its history and economy could have developed in completely different directions. Think about how much of modern culture is built around cars. Road trips, drive-in theaters, drive-through restaurants, car chases in movies. Without cars, none of this exists. Teenagers wouldn't dream of getting their first car as a symbol of freedom. Instead, independence might come from your first train pass, or even your first bicycle. Family vacations would happen by rail, not by car. Entire genres of music, fashion, and movies built around cars, like Fast and Furious, wouldn't exist. Car culture, racing leagues, supercars, luxury vehicles, all erased from history. Here's a fascinating twist. Without cars, would airplanes or rockets have evolved as fast as they did? Many technologies we take for granted, engines, aerodynamics, safety systems, were perfected in the auto industry before influencing other fields. Without cars pushing innovation, perhaps flight and space exploration would have developed more slowly. Or maybe the opposite. Humanity might have skipped cars entirely and focused directly on trains, maglev systems, or advanced aircraft, pushing us faster toward a different kind of transportation revolution. Cars, and later tanks, trucks, and jeeps, played a huge role in wars. Supply lines in both world wars relied on automobiles. Armies moved faster and farther because of vehicles. Without cars, warfare would have looked completely different. Armies would move on horseback or trains, making battles slower, less mobile, and possibly less destructive on a global scale. Even geopolitics would shift. Nations wouldn't fight over oil in the same way. The oil wars of the 20th century might never have happened. This might be the biggest difference of all. Cars today are a major source of carbon emissions. Smog-filled cities, greenhouse gases, and climate change all trace back to our love for the automobile. In a world without cars, the air would be cleaner, global warming might be significantly reduced. People would walk, bike, or use clean electric trains. Cities would be quieter, healthier, and less polluted. But there's a catch. Millions of horses would still be used. That means manure-filled streets, disease, and environmental challenges of a different kind. Progress has its price, no matter the era. Cars gave individuals freedom, especially in rural areas. Without them, a huge divide would exist between urban and rural populations. City dwellers would thrive with dense train networks. But people in villages and remote areas might remain cut off, with limited opportunities. Economic inequality could grow deeper, as access to transportation defines who prospers and who struggles. Without cars, there'd be no Formula One, no NASCAR, no Le Mans. Motorsports, car shows, supercar culture, all erased. Instead, maybe bicycle racing or train engineering would be global obsessions. Tour de France might be the most watched sport in the world, replacing Formula One. Movies would also look different. No high-speed car chases, no action thrillers featuring roaring engines. Hollywood blockbusters would feel completely different. If humans never invented cars, what would transportation look like today? We might live in a hyper-connected world of trains and airships. Imagine maglev trains crisscrossing every country, moving at 500 miles per hour. Entire continents linked by rail networks instead of highways, or perhaps personal flying machines, small air vehicles, or even advanced bicycles could dominate. Cities could have layered transport systems, underground trains, elevated rail, pedestrian-friendly roads, without a single automobile in sight. While it sounds romantic, a world without cars also has downsides. Emergencies would be harder to manage. Imagine an ambulance stuck relying on horses or trains. It could cost lives. Fire trucks, police chases, rapid response vehicles, none of it exists. Daily convenience too. Grocery shopping, commuting to work, visiting relatives would be slower and less flexible. Cars gave humanity speed and personal freedom we take for granted today. Without them, life would be more limited, even if cleaner. The truth is, cars changed the world in ways both good and bad. They gave us freedom, speed, and global connection, but also pollution, accidents, and wars over oil. A world without cars might look cleaner and more peaceful, but also less connected and less advanced in many areas. Humanity might have gained some things, but lost others. So, what do you think? Would a world without cars be better, cleaner, quieter, and more peaceful? Or worse, slower, less connected and limited? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Make sure to subscribe for more mind-bending journeys into the past, present, and future of our world. Thanks for watching, and remember, sometimes the biggest what-ifs show us how much we take our reality for granted.